What's up, fam? Welcome back to our Z Roll, and today we're going to be doing a Disney World Q&A.
So we asked you guys if you had any questions for us just about our recent Walt Disney World trip, and you guys sent in some really great questions and a really great range of different areas of it. So we're excited to answer those today.
And some of you guys kind of asked kind of the same kind of questions, so we kind of merging those together a little bit. And also, I just want to point out our empty bookshelves. We are still in the process of redoing our studio again, and so we will be finishing up this place. So it's just what it is right now. Yeah.
So you guys had some really good questions just about going to Disney World during this time, 2021. Obviously, things are different. Not everything's open. So we're gonna kind of dive into those kind of questions first. So the first one we had was, do you feel like it was worth it with not all of the stores, food places open, or do you wish you would have waited?
So I can start with this one. I honestly, there is so much to do in Disney World. There is so much to do that I didn't even miss stuff being closed. Honestly, I think it would be even more overwhelming for us if everything was open. So there really wasn't anything that I was just super bummed about or frustrated that wasn't open or closed. Because honestly, I didn't really. I mean, did you?
I would have to agree with that. Yeah. So to answer the question, no, I do not wish we would have waited at all, because that was a fear of mine, is going and then being like, oh, we didn't have this and this and this, we should have just waited. I didn't feel like that at all, honestly. We haven't been there in 10 years and experienced all the parks, so much has grown and so much has changed, and this is our first time taking kids, so we did not get to even do everything we honestly wanted to do.
I didn't even pay attention to things that were open or closed, because there was just so much going on all the time that I didn't bother me.
I mean, the only thing that going into it, I was already preparing myself, and when we were there, I was like, oh, what would have been cool was characters, because we had the kids, and I'm like, the character meet and greets I knew was gonna be something I kind of wish we could have had with the kids. But honestly, I'm we were doing things all the time.
Yeah, and the reality is the kids didn't miss it.
They didn't. They didn't know any different.
They didn't know any different, and we still saw characters, so they were still able to wave, and they just thought that was normal.
Hugging and taking pictures and stuff,
I mean, we knew that it wasn't normal, but they didn't, and so it just didn't really matter to them. They just loved seeing the characters go by in the boat or wave to them, or and we got pretty close to a lot of the characters too, so it seemed like it was there, but yeah, I mean, I would definitely would go again. I wouldn't change anything.
100%, I would go again now. Yeah.
So another question we have is, what was the most difficult part about navigating the parks and dining reservations, etc. during COVID? So,
I mean, I guess the biggest thing, is different was mobile ordering, which I loved. And honestly, even if it wasn't COVID times, that's the way I would go.
Well, that's not actually. We have another question about mobile ordering, and but it's had you used mobile order before, and would you use it again? And we have used mobile order before, in Disneyland and things like that, and so we're kind of used to it already. But we're kind of a mobile order kind of person anyway. Here in Boise, if I can mobile order Starbucks, I will.
Yeah. So we loved that.
We loved it.
I didn't see an issue with it. And we already knew before, going, they say to kind of do it earlier. Not hey, I'm starving, let's mobile order right now, because you may be waiting 45 minutes depending on where you're getting your food from. So I'm glad we kind of planned ahead with that. But as far as just navigating the park, and then what was the other part of the question?
And dining reservations.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything went well. The reservations we had, everything worked out good for that.
I would say the one thing that I think was probably the most, I would say not frustrating, but the hardest one was in Galaxy Edge. With the lines. Disney did a great job of telling people where the end of the line was and all that kind of stuff, so we had no problems. But Galaxy Edge was crazy because the lines were wrapping around the park so much that there was nowhere to just sit and hang out, because if you sat there, they're that's a line. And you're where do I go just to hang out? Especially when I have a stroller and I have a tuck or something like that, I'm walking around. There was just nowhere to go. So I think that was the hardest part for me, was that that couple hours that we were in Galaxy Edge.
And the reason for that is you're not just waiting in line for rides, you're waiting in line for shopping in stores, you're waiting in line, there's lines for everything now, so.
Yeah, especially in Galaxy Edge. Everywhere else, it seemed like it was fine.
Yeah.
But Galaxy Edge, because it was smaller and everyone wants to see everything in Galaxy Edge, so all the stores had lines, all the food had lines.
All
like
those cantinas, there's
there was just lines everywhere, like where do I chill?
You just move an inch, you're in line for this.
No, seriously, I had a cast member probably tell me like 30 times, like, this is a line, sir. I'm like,
where do I go?
Do I just kind of stand somewhere? So I found this like, little area that I just like this little ramp thing, and we just hung out there.
Kind of hid under there.
Like that's all we can find. I don't know. We're pretty easygoing as well with stuff, and we already knew going into it that it was gonna be different, and. But man, there's just so much to see, do, and whatever. It didn't really bother us.
All right, another question we got was, did you regret so many park days with little ones? Good question.
Great question. So I think if we did it all over again, we would probably want to have at least one day in the middle where we didn't go to the park.
Yes.
It kind of worked out well because like Epcot was kind of in the middle, and we didn't have to go there till 11. Yeah. And so we were able to sleep in and everything. It worked out fine. We made sure we went back to the pools, and we had that rest time, that recoup time and stuff, so we weren't like pushing the whole time.
Right.
But if we could do it over again, we would definitely plan a resort day.
For sure. I agree with everything you said. Yeah, I don't regret it. Like, looking back, I think like what you said, we had a good balance of we went back almost every single day and rested or went to the pool or something and took a break from the parks. But yeah, we all said that at the end of the trip. I'm like, if we had one more day just in the middle where we just got to enjoy our resort.
Yeah, and it wasn't like that we were exhausted because, again, we really like didn't like push ourselves and we knew everything. It was more of just to really enjoy our resort. Like,
there was so much to do there. And I feel like we didn't have enough time.
And the boys, I know the boys could have been content just hanging out in the pool for the entire trip.
Probably.
Like, so I think, if you ever do a Disney World vacation, like, I totally would recommend at least having 1 or 2 days where it's just you're not even in the park. Yeah. And if you can swing it, that's what we're gonna do for our next Walt Disney World trip. Is we're gonna make sure we at least have one day of not going into the park at all.
Especially if you're gonna stay at Fort Wilderness, and we're gonna do a whole vlog on that because there's so much to do, and like canoe rides and riding horses, and there's just so much other activities that you can book just at your resort.
What is the best age to take a child to Walt Disney World? Older the better, ? Mine are 2 and 4.
So my thing, I mean, this is our first time taking both the boys, but we've talked about going for a while, and my thing is I don't want to do diapers in the park. So I said when both the boys are potty trained, we will go. And they were both potty trained, and they were great. I felt like, I mean, Landon's 5, Tucker's 3. I feel like that was a really good age. Honestly, with Tuck, I'm like, I wonder if he'll like be able to keep up, but he did, and Landon did, and I mean, they took naps in the stroller, which definitely helped. But I felt like they were really good ages because it was really fun just because of them being, younger. So everything's so real and so magical and so amazing. So that is fun. But also I can see, it getting fun when they're even older and doing, more of the scary rides. So whatever works for your family. But for us, I just was like, I don't want to do diapers in the park, so once they're potty trained, we'll take them both. Which park was your favorite on this trip and why? I think we might have the same answer for this.
Really? What's yours?
You want to say on the count of 3?
Yeah.
1,
2.
Hollywood Studios.
Oh, okay.
I knew.
All
right. I thought so. We had so much fun.
Come on. Like, I mean, there's so much to do. Like,
that was our highlight that day. So
our
fun.
motto for this trip was like, we can't do everything. That was like our motto because there was so much.
And we left Hollywood Studios. I'm like, we never even got to do that new. There's like a Lightning McQueen show, and there's
so much to do.
Some other stuff. I'm like,
there's so much to do. There's
just can't do
that's
it all.
why one of the questions like, would you still go in 2021 when not things are? I'm like, yes, go,
sure.
Because there's so much to do. You will not be bored. You're not gonna be bummed that things are closed because there's so much to do.
Yes.
But Hollywood Studios, I think if we ever went back, we would go there twice.
Yeah.
Hands down for sure.
Yeah.
There's not as much to do for the kids. I would say.
Well, Toy Story Land now.
There is.
Yeah.
There's tons of stuff to do for the kids.
And we didn't even do, they have, which I didn't realize was open, but like the Disney's like junior show, like it's like a live show that they do. And we didn't even get to do that.
Yeah, so
and the kids would have loved that too.
There was plenty to do.
Yeah.
So 2 days next time, but that was our favorite. I think that was the thing. Landon like loved Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
We were impressed. He was on his feet almost the entire day, just rocking it.
Yeah.
And that was yes.
That was our favorite.
How was your first ever Epcot festival? Lacey, how was your first ever Epcot festival?
Is that my microphone?
Yes, that's your microphone.
I absolutely loved it. Flower and Garden was my favorite, even though I haven't done any other Epcot festivals.
It's my favorite, but I haven't done anything.
It was beautiful, like honestly, and the food was amazing. Eating around the world, it was just like such a highlight, such a fun day. It was a beautiful day when we were there too. And
it was like #no filter. Like when you're like taking pictures,
so
it was just like, okay, cool.
Oh, it was so pretty.
Like you didn't have to do anything to the photos. It was just, it was like fake. It looked fake everywhere you're looking. Brilliant.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I'd love to, next time we go again, like try to schedule our trip around another festival. Like that's how much I really enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun.
To check out another one. Yeah.
I think for me anyway, I've never done the entire World Showcase. So there was like 2 bucket list things that happened. Was going to Epcot Festival, and also, no, there was 3. Because it was a festival, it was doing the entire World Showcase and eating something at everything. Like there was a couple we didn't because we're about to die. But the reality is we pretty much ate. I mean, you guys watched the video.
We got to
so much food.
Where did we get to? Was it France? And then I'm like, I can't. I'm done.
I think I almost got something. I'm like, I just want to do it, but I was gonna like throw up, so I decided not to. But yeah, it was fantastic. Like I love Epcot. Like I think that was just such a fun experience all around. Yeah. And Epcot is was something I was actually really looking forward to going in, because I just never experienced it as much as I experienced the other lands, and I feel like it just met all my expectations and more. Another question we got was, I'd love to know more about how you handle spending money with the boys. I saw you gave them cash in a wallet. How do you help them understand how far that money can go, and what do you make them responsible to buy? Great question. And so, number one, we had a lot of grandparents who gave them some gift cards and some money to buy things. But my goal in this trip was, especially for Landon, was to buy him a wallet and give him some spending cash and kind of show him what he can buy and what he can't buy. So I gave him $5 a day. So like cotton candy was $5, and
so he would
that.
just find something special he wanted to buy with it. Like it was usually like snacks.
Yeah, it was usually snacks, and it was like maybe like a little Pez kind of thing or something like that. Like little things that he feel like he can go up there and put his money down, purchase, see the change and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we usually, when we go on a trip, we have a budget of how much we're gonna spend on the kids before we go. And that's usually what we do. And so we have like souvenir money that we have. Lacey gets some souvenirs before we go and packs them and then gives it to him, like the same stuff that's in the park, but she buys it on Disney beforehand. So there's a couple things like that we do. But is there anything else that you want to share on that?
I think that was everything. Yeah, and I mean we don't. Part of the question is like, what are they responsible for? He's not really like responsible like for anything. Like we like cover everything as far as he buys with. There's something extra. I'm like, okay, is that what you want to spend your money on? Like we're not gonna like let him buy every single thing he sees and every single snack he wants. So just to kind of teach him like, okay, if it's his money, then it's like, oh, I'm gonna think twice. Do I really want that? Yeah. So that kind of helps too.
And honestly, like, it's really good to be able to tell your kid no at times, because it, like, honestly, like, especially when you're in Disneyland, like there's so much, you're spoiling them for days. Like, but them knowing that no, you're not gonna have
that is a word in Disneyland.
The
in Disney
third
World.
cotton candy that you've already had. Yeah, it should be. And I think that kind of helps it kind of tames them down a little bit, and it puts them back into reality that like they don't get everything they want. Duh. Yeah. But like I think there's a lot of parents when they go to Disneyland, they're just like, oh, whatever, like they can have whatever. But again, they're not grounded. They're not grounded in reality anymore. And so I think that really helps them kind of get grounded and be like, no, you are still, 5 years old and we can still say no, kind of a thing. So I think it's important to put boundaries on your kids, even when you're there. But we still do spoil them because it is vacation and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot more than usual. But it's still good to say no.
Yeah. Another good question. Is there anything you packed that you didn't use or anything you didn't bring that you wish you would have? I know one of yours, so you can start there.
I forgot my neck pillow. And we did a red eye.
Which we definitely needed that.
I mean, whatever. It's just whatever. Like, I've done it before, but that was hilarious because it had everything ready to go.
And it was like when we got home, it was set out on our chair, like ready to go.
It was just hanging out.
Forgot to grab
hey,
it.
What's up? Everything else for me, though, I used.
I can't think of anything I didn't use. I know I was thinking about that. I feel like
we were prepped pretty well.
We used it all, the umbrellas and all.
We never used a poncho.
Oh, yeah.
But you want to bring a poncho when you go to Florida.
Yeah, we didn't use our poncho.
Because it didn't rain really that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Man, we had such good weather. Can we talk about that for a minute? We had such good weather.
We did.
Like the first couple of days, it was like kind of like cloudy and stuff, and like there was no hardly any humidity. So I feel like we kind of like adapted really well before the sun started shining, where like the humidity was up.
Yeah.
So it was like this thing where we were able to adapt. It was kind of cooler, kind of like light sweatshirt kind of weather, and then it just got super warm, and then I got fried at Epcot. Yeah.
The day it did rain, though, it was like a misty rain. It was definitely
refreshing.
Not like put on your poncho.
Yeah, it was tropical rain. It was just it wasn't like it was perfect. Yeah. So thank you for that. Like, thank you, the Lord, for giving us good weather. But other than like not using a poncho, but we're glad we still brought a poncho. Like I think we pretty much even the boys. I think everyone used everything. So we have a lot of questions on like the cabin, Fort Wilderness, and one of the questions, or there's many questions, but we'll read one of them that says, would you stay in the cabins again? The answer is absolutely yes, but no.
For sure. But no, I get that.
This is the thing, like we're gonna do an in-depth review of the cabins soon, and so you'll know like everything. So we won't go too much in detail over that. The problem is there's so much to see at Walt Disney World. So yes, we want to go back to the cabins because we enjoyed it, but I don't know if we will because there's other places we want to explore.
Know. There's a
see what I mean?
And every time like we took our ferry and you could see other resorts, I'm like, oh, next time that'd be so fun to stay there or stay there. There's so many places that we haven't stayed at and we want to. But I have to say,
absolutely we would go back.
For sure.
For sure.
And Tucker talks about it
every day.
Every single
And this is not over
day.
Exaggerating. Probably 2 to 3 times a day. He'll be like, I want to go back to the cabins. And it breaks our heart because we're
all he talks
in
about
our
the
mind
cabins.
we're like we want to go back to the cabins, but I don't know if we'll ever go back there. We may. I don't know, but I'm like I just want to explore other things.
Stuff. Yeah. But every day, I want to go back to the cabin.
He loved it so much.
I want to go back to the cabin. When are we going back to the cabin? My buddy, you gotta let the cabin go. Let it go. It's just funny because it's not even Disney World. It's just the cabins.
He loved
the cabins.
So again, we'll do a complete review of that. We're really excited to do that. We're kind of working on that right now. But yes and no.
Right. Sorry. So we're going to end with some questions of people asking some of our favorite things. So some of those was like our favorite meal or our favorite coffee. You want to go first?
Yeah, so coffee, that was the one thing I hated at the Fort Wilderness was the coffee there. Like, we'll talk more about that later. I think my favorite coffee experience was when we had coffee with Auburn.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, it was Joffrey's coffee.
Really good.
And I had just an Americano. I had 4 or 5 shot. I can't remember. But it was really good. Yeah. I think just hanging out with Auburn and stuff helped a lot too. Yeah. But I think that was our favorite coffee experience. Was just at Joffrey stand in Toy Story Land.
Oh yeah, it was right outside.
It was right outside the alien saucers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it for that. As far as food goes, what was your favorite meal? I'm gonna say something that's gonna blow your mind, and it's so dumb, but it's the only thing I can think of right at the top of my head.
Okay.
And I'll just say it, and there might be something else, but was the Pinocchio's pizza.
Oh, that was so good.
It's kind of dumb to say that.
Really good pizza,
but I'm just I was blown away. I guess I didn't have any expectations. I'm just like, well, whatever, some pizza. And I'm just like, this is amazing pizza. And I think another thing is why I loved it so much is knowing that Lacey loved it so much because it was gluten-free, and gluten-free crust sucks.
Yeah.
That was good gluten-free crust.
It was. Yeah.
And so I think that kind of helped me, like, oh, we're all enjoying this. We're all excited about it. Like, you know, it's not this, like, dull crust that she has to, like, you know, chow down kind of a thing. But
yeah,
it was good.
Actually, that was one of my favorite meals, too.
Was it?
Yeah, it really was. And we talked about it one day. I'm like, I don't think we've had one bad meal. Like, everywhere we went to, all of our reservations, the only place I would, like, I was like, it wasn't that great, like, was in Magic Kingdom. And it was Pico's Bill.
Oh,
it was that really long name. It was like Mexican food.
You nailed on the vlog in
I know.
the video.
I can't think of it now.
Yeah,
but
you guys know what we're talking about.
It's over
probably.
by Splash Mountain. Can't think. I know Pico's and Bill's in it. It just wasn't that great.
No.
It was just kind of like,
Yeah.
But everything else we were like, it was
also,
so good.
the dine-in, the sci-fi dine-in.
Yeah.
It's all the atmosphere.
Yeah, right.
But was that my favorite burger I've ever had?
No, not at all.
Not at all. It was okay.
Right.
But it was just really fun watching the boys just like, this is crazy. But the food wasn't that good there either.
Yeah. As far as
I wouldn't go there for the food, I would say.
As far as our reservations though, I would have to say in Epcot where we ate at Mexico was amazing. That meal was really good.
Oh yeah, and then that Mexican Coke. Whew.
It was really good.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
Like, so good. I just can't, I still, like, this is the thing, like, I know, like, you know, we talked a lot of comments about, like, why that Coke was so good. I think the reason why it blew me away, because, I've had, Mexican Coke, and I know that the difference of how it's made and everything, but the reality is, like, I don't think I've ever had a fountain drink of that.
Okay.
Like, I've had, like, the glass Cokes and all that kind of stuff, but, like, the fountain drink?
And their chips and salsa are to die for.
Yeah, it was great.
So good.
And the atmosphere was amazing.
I know.
So
that's probably
too.
one of my favorites.
Yeah. So I guess we have like a fast and then a reservation.
Yeah.
So we're gonna end with this question. This question was like a lot of you had this question, and that was, what was your favorite memory of the trip? Guys, there were so many memories and so many things we'll always remember. I think like to the golf carts, like how awesome that was. To the boys sleeping in the cabin with us. To watching them just dance and get excited, to riding Splash Mountain with Landon, like because I remember when I was 5 years old, I did the same thing, with my parents, and so him coming along with us was super awesome. Getting his first wallet, like there was so many like things that like this trip was just like
a lot of fun.
We were talking to Cassie after we got done. We're like, this was one of our favorite like Disney trips. Like it was just perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was full of memories.
Yes, for sure. I could go on too. Like it's so hard just to like pick one because I've got a lot of like really funny ones of things that have happened and really ones that I'll just like really cherish. But yeah, I feel like just a lot of them honestly were like in the cabin, like in our resort. Like I just feel like it was like our little home, and the boys just had so much fun in there, and it was so special, like having their like bunk bed in our room and like waking up in the morning, and they were just so excited for the day and where we were going today. It was just like such an adventure because they were just like, one day we're in this magical place with a castle, and then the next place we're in this place with this ginormous tree and animals. So they were just like blown away. So it was all just great memories.
What was in Animal Kingdom? What was the ride that Tucker just couldn't?
Oh, in Pandora, the Avatar.
Yeah.
So the Navi River ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't, Navi River or something.
Yeah,
it's
something.
you ride in the boat and
know.
go through the Pandora world.
The animatronic, that huge avatar.
It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, go right now and Google Navi's River Journey.
We have it on one of our videos too.
And you can see one of the avatars, and it's the most amazing animatronic ever.
But I was watching Tucker and Landon, and they're just like.
They're like,
but I was doing the same thing, and I'm like, because when you're on rides with your parents, you want to see like your kids' like expressions, like what I mean. But I was so locked and loaded on like the avatar that I'm like, I had to like blink and like see like Tucker and Landon.
Real?
It was insane, but yeah, Tucker was just like. I just like didn't understand. Like, what is this creature?
They've never seen the movie.
Never seen the movie.
So they're
and,
just
and
like.
that's the thing. I think what's fun taking kids is like they don't know what's real, what's fake.
Yeah.
Like they don't know anything. It's like,
thought it was real. So.
Oh, it looks so real. It looks so real. So that was
cool.
so much fun.
Well, thank you guys so much for asking us these are really fun questions, and it's so fun for us to, again, just like relive the trip by sharing our experiences and our memories. So thank you guys for helping us do this vlog pretty much.
And also watch out for that Fort Wilderness review. We'll be doing that shortly, and that will go in a lot more detail over the cabins. But anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with us, watching this video, and we'll see you guys real soon. Love ya.